Alright. We're gonna get a break in here. Break of the action. Give me a kid of that break. Give me that kid off of that break back bar.
What?
Yes! Feel like I'm ready to talk right now.
Well, good thing we're going to do a podcast for the next hour and a half.
I know, right?
Good thing that you get to talk so much.
I know how to talk and I can speak words.
Yes, that you can speak English.
That'll help. I speak of the normal language. If I can find... Wait, are we streaming? It says streaming. Come on. Find me. Find the stream. Let me tell the world about us. Or not. YouTube, let me find... I want to tell the world that we are live. YouTube, let me do this.
We want to shout it from the rooftops.
I want to shout it from the Twitterverse.
Mm-hmm. That too.
Nope. Nope. Are we live? Let me check my phone. I think we're live. I'll just switch from my phone. Maybe it's because it's not 8 o'clock yet.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it says we're not live. Weird. Weird. Videos only. You all. Man, it's been a week since I last did this. Come on, there. There it goes, live. I hope that's the right one. Let me see if this is the right one. Wait to the camera. Yeah, sure. Let's go with this one. I think, maybe. There it goes. Yep. Okay, so that's live. As live as it can be.
Can I stop waving now?
Oh, yeah. It's as live as it can be. Alright, let's tell the world what we're up to. Let us tell everyone about the news. Yep, you're still waving. Good. That's this one.
That's how you know.
That's how you know we're live. All right. So, I already know I'm going to title this. Oh wait, is Audacity even on?
No.
No.
Do you do that?
We need to do that.
We need to do that.
We need to record our voices. Such professionals.
Oh yeah.
Clearly, we are on top of this.
Okay, you may fire when ready.
Well, I am ready, so let's fire. Boom.
Boom. Hi. It's the Media Boat Podcast. That's the podcast that we do every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Pacific. This time...
We're on time.
We're on time.
Yes.
Today is May...
the
12th?
16th.
Wow, way off.
You're way off. 16th. Come on, man.
The last 5 days somewhere in the month there. It is May the 16th, 2018. This is episode 123, I believe.
I believe you're right.
My name is Matt. His name is Mike. We are the Media Boat Podcast.
Yeah, I'm Mike. He's Matt. We've done this out of order. We've done this 122 times, and yet we still
We don't have
change
that
it up.
in order every week.
We always have an order every week.
If you are curious what we are, the Media Boat Podcast is your source for news about movies, television, video games, and music, not necessarily in that order. We talk about breaking news. We also talk about things that we've seen / watched / heard, and we talk about it to you, our loyal listeners.
Thank you, loyal listeners.
Thank you, loyal listeners. And we start every week, as we always do, with movies, and specifically last weekend's box office number.
You mean the Avengers again?
Avengers again, as your Avengers Infinity War was again your number one movie in the country, with another $62 million to add to its already enormous total, which is now up to $548 million domestic.
Yes, that is domestic. Worldwide, it is $1.6 billion. It opened in China this past weekend to an impressive $200 million opening debut weekend in China. That's China with $200 million.
So not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. The rest of your top five, not as exciting. Your number two, debuting number two this week, is Life of the Party with $17 million.
That's your Melissa McCarthy movie,
vehicle,
which barely hit number two.
Yeah. So that was $17 million, but also coming in at $17 million and probably point something.
Yeah.
And number three is Breaking In. So that's your number three movie debuting this week.
Yeah, the difference was $200,000 between the two.
Close.
That's like a 17.8 to 17.6.
Okay. But returning to the top five this week, your number four movie is the Anna Faris vehicle Overboard, making another $9 million. And lastly, rounding out the top five is A Quiet Place with another $6 million. And that's your box office.
All right.
Next weekend, this coming weekend, you have three new releases.
Yes.
Your big one, of course, is Deadpool 2.
Yes, Deadpool also, which I don't know why they didn't just title it that, because that'd be hilarious.
Could have, but... so yeah, that's probably your number one movie.
Yes, this is your new Marvel movie.
Marvel will unseat Marvel.
Yes, Marvel will unseat... Marvel Fox will unseat Marvel Disney, which then will become a part of Marvel Disney.
Well, maybe. To be determined.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's your number one, probably. No questions about that. We'll have reactions to that. I'm sure you'll see it.
Yes, I'll be watching it on Sunday with friends and new people.
But also this weekend, you have Book Club, the movie where the
ladies...
old
people.
Oh, sure. Ladies read 50 Shades of Grey. So get ready to hear your stepmothers talk about that this coming weekend.
Remember when Universal was suing about the book 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah.
This is what's going to come of it.
So, yeah.
There's an extension of it. Look, they already made the film, so
yeah.
there's an extension of it.
Then lastly, Show Dogs. What is Show Dogs besides what it sounds like? A movie about show dogs?
Yes. Not only that, but it's a film for the kids, starring Will Arnett as a detective who teams up with a talking dog.
Oh, you know what? I think I saw a trailer for this.
Yes. It looked bad.
It looked really bad.
It looked bad. But like I said, this is for the kids.
Your counter-programming,
for the kids,
if you will.
It's for the kids.
It's for the kids.
It's for the kids.
So those are your new releases this weekend. Deadpool will be your number one. Are we going to do over-under for money?
Let's see. What did Avengers make? No, this past weekend.
This past weekend, 62.
Okay.
So it'll definitely beat that. But by how much?
Let's see. The first Deadpool 1 made 120.
Yeah.
I think roughly, because we undershot that significantly.
Do over under 120?
Sure. I'll take the under on that.
Okay. All right. All right, cool. So, look forward to that next week.
We'll see if Deadpool can do better. Deadpool 2 can do better than Deadpool 1 in its opening weekend.
We will see. Okay, before we move on to news, did you see any films?
No. My girlfriend saw Life of the Party.
Okay.
With her mom for Mother's Day.
Any comments about that?
I didn't ask. I didn't want to.
Didn't want to know.
I didn't want to know.
Then let's move right along to...
I'll probably end up seeing Life of the Party just to catch up on films at some point.
Well, you'll let us know when you do.
Yes. Also, my dad told me to watch Rampage. I don't know why.
I mean, he probably enjoyed it.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
It stars Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And I will never stop calling him Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
As much as you'd like.
As much as I'd like to, just Dwayne Johnson is known to me.
Sure. All right. Are you good?
I'm good. Are you good? Did you watch anything?
No. Let's move on to movie news.
All right, movie news.
Trying to do.
Okay.
Movie news. First story is our another follow-up on the Weinstein Company dissolution.
And this will be the final thing. I know we said it last time.
That's what we keep saying.
This will be the final thing.
It's another one.
Because after this, there will be no more Weinstein Company.
So, the company has finally been sold to a Dallas-based private equity firm. Lantern Capital is the name of the firm. Their co-founders, Annie Mitchell and Milos Brajovic, have said they plan to change the studio's name to Lantern Entertainment. According to bankruptcy court records, the studio has 85 employees and a monthly payroll of $1 million. So kind of a low-rent operation so far as studios go.
Right. But the main acquisition of this is to, one, not only get a foot in the door into Hollywood, but two, for all those Weinstein backorder catalog.
Expand their business by getting an existing catalog.
Yep.
It's really smart. So, yeah, this is a smart choice. So you don't have anything here, but what have they done in the past, these Lantern Capital guys? Have they invested in anything notable? Or
no, but they were these guys were a part of the original deal to buy Weinstein's before the other two people backed out.
Got it.
When all the back pay lawsuits started coming out. So they still stuck around. They did their due diligence still and were not scared away. But both Weinstein's brothers have been ousted from the company since. And yeah, they're going to basically slap a fresh coat of paint on it and then start a low-budget studio because no one's going to trust them yet.
Not right away.
Nope.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens with Lantern Studios. Oh, sorry, Lantern Entertainment.
Lantern Entertainment.
All right, next.
They'll leave the light on for you.
Somebody who may wrong.
Wrong.
Someone who might star in a future Lantern Entertainment film is none other than former Twilight star Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart's in the news because, one, she's currently serving on the jury at the Cannes Film Festival.
Someone let her judge films?
Apparently.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, she's an actress.
And number two, she has revealed her next project, which is also her directorial debut. She will be directing something called The Chronology of Water. Not The Shape of Water, but the chronology of it.
Is this the prequel?
Probably not.
The sequel?
It's the story of a lifelong swimmer turned artist and explores the issues of sexuality, grief, and addiction.
This sounds like right up her alley.
It sounds like something she would direct, yes.
Yes.
It could be really, really cool. I like Kristen Stewart. I have no problem with her.
Apparently she's been chasing after this project for a year since reading the book. Tracked down the author and had several interviews with her. Coffee and lunch and dinners and stuff. And is really passionate about this. So, good stuff comes from passion projects. Yeah. This could be really good.
Yeah. I mean, the last passion project was freaking Greta Gerwig with Lady Bird, and they got nominated for Best Picture. So,
yeah.
good time. Strike while the iron is hot, Kristen.
Yep.
Next up, speaking of new movies, we have a new movie called 355, and it's already getting a big payday for Simon Kinberg, which I guess is the director. You do not have
yes, he's the director.
Their role listed here. Simon is getting a payday already for 355. Universal has reportedly paid $20 million for the film. It will star Jessica Chastain, Lupita Nyong'o, Fan Bingbing, and Marion Cotillard. Oh, and Penelope Cruz. That's a star-studded cast.
Yeah.
Except I'm not familiar with Fan Bingbing.
She is a Chinese actress, most famous, I guess, for American audiences would recognize her as Blink in Days of Future Past.
Okay.
She was also in Age of Extinction, Transformers. She's well known in China. She's been in American movies that have, as an actress, to help make them big in China.
Okay.
Yep. So this is an international cast for a specific reason.
Because 355 in the title refers to Agent 355, one of our first secret agents during our American Revolution.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Plot details are scarce, but it's reported that the 5 actresses are all playing spies from around the world who team up for a mission during the American Revolutionary War.
Yeah, this sounds really interesting.
That is really interesting.
Female-led cast. Simon Kinberg just directed X-Men Dark Phoenix, the upcoming X-Men Dark Phoenix film. That was his directorial debut. This is his second project, and it's looking good. He worked with Jessica Chastain in Dark Phoenix. That's how she got all these other girls.
Got it.
There's the connection.
Yeah, there's the connection.
And this could be good. I'm keeping this one on my radar. Sounds
like it. All right, cool. Moving on. Now for our weekly story that gets way into the weeds. We have a story about Netflix here. And Netflix and the Court of Justice in the European Union. Well, they're not a fan right now of Netflix. They've ruled against Netflix, ordering, in a case I guess, ordering the... More articles, please. Ordering...
More articles?
More pronouns. Ordering the streaming giant to contribute to... Or sorry, more context. That's what I want.
There you go.
I have no idea what you mean by any of this.
Alright.
They will have to contribute... they will order the Netflix to contribute to Germany's film subsidy system, which I'm guessing they're not currently...
Yeah, because Netflix is not a German company and they have no offices in Germany, they assume, well... we don't have to contribute to this.
But Germany is like, if you're such a force in our country, and if so many people are watching you, you should contribute too.
Right.
Okay, got it. So, they will have to contribute a portion of the revenue earned by its German service to the country's national subsidy system, which funds local film and TV production. So it's going to a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
A law passed in 2014 and approved by the EU requires German cinemas, television networks, and streaming services to contribute to the fund. Netflix challenged the law since, as you said, it's not a German-based company, and therefore they thought they wouldn't have to contribute 2.5% of the revenue, as the law states.
Yeah, 2.5%. Come on, Netflix.
But they did find that Netflix used German subsidies to make their film Mute, the Duncan Jones film.
Yes, and this is where Netflix gets in trouble.
So thus, boom, you used it, you have to contribute to it.
Right, is if we're going to give you these tax breaks, you're going to have to, be under German law or EU law.
Well,
hopefully
they'll start giving into the pot that they're taking from.
Netflix lost it, so they have to pay now.
Yeah, they have to take
or, we'll backdate it and then just, not do it.
You leave
shady business dealings. But, Netflix, if you're going to be good about this, they're just going to pay.
Yep. Alrighty.
Alright.
That's it for movies. We're already done.
Yep, movies were short.
Anything to add for movies real quick?
No. Oh, a couple of trailers are out that we talked about last week. Black Klansman is out.
The
trailer. Bohemian Rhapsody trailer is out. And the new Predators trailer is out.
Now, is Adrian Brody back in this one?
No, but it is directed by Shane Black, and you know it is because in the trailer it says, from the director of Iron Man 3.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because it's set at Christmas, and I was like, oh yeah, then I definitely know it's Shane Black.
Probably, there is snow.
All right! You love snow. All right, moving on then into television. First, we always start with sports.
Yes.
Sports Corner with Mike.
Yes. NHL hockey is currently in the Stanley Cup Finals with the first-year babies going up against the Winnipeg Jets. I mean, the Las Vegas Golden Knights versus the Winnipeg Jets.
Right.
The Knights are currently down in the series and will most likely lose, and I hope they lose.
So, Jets, Jets? Yeah. Is that what's happening?
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Yep. NBA finals are still going on. It's currently the Eastern Finals and the Western Finals. Winner of those will go on to play in the NBA Finals.
Cool.
And, yeah, that's all for just general sports news. But
then we have a piece of sports news that's a little more complicated. The U.S. Supreme Court on Monday struck down a federal law that required states to ban gambling on the outcome of sporting events, something that we all know happens all the time.
Yes, sports gambling.
It's very common, especially in Vegas.
Yes, Vegas was grandfathered into this law. Because Vegas.
But the professional... So if you're wondering why this is just now happening and what the history of this is, well, there was something in 1992 called the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act. It didn't ban gambling, but rather states were basically told they were not allowed to permit it. it basically put a kibosh on them starting it if they hadn't already done so.
Right, which is why Vegas was
grandfathered in Reno probably too.
Right, Atlantic City and Louisiana, and etc.
The American Gaming Association estimated that Americans would wager $10 billion on the NCAA basketball tournament alone, with just 3% of the bets placed legally through Nevada.
Now, that's $10 billion, billion in 1 month. That's the NCAA men's basketball tournament, aka March Madness.
So it's a lucrative business. But it's also gambling on real people, which is kind of questionable sometimes. So I could see why this is finally coming into question. But, like we said, the Supreme Court struck it down.
Oh, sorry, I was correct. It's East-West in the NHL.
East-West.
Yes, still. Yes. Yep, Angels are still doing decent. I'm watching them on Friday. Get my Angels Rally Monkey.
Rally Monkey.
Yes, my Angels Han Solo Rally Monkey.
Han Solo Rally Monkey.
But yes, sports gambling.
So basically, the long story short, all that doesn't matter because the Supreme Court basically shot down that federal law. So now I guess it's free for the states to make their own decisions about it.
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
It's back in the state's corner.
It's back in the state's corner. So each state can determine whether they want the people to legally, keyword legally.
Right.
People are always going to illegally gamble. You can't really stop that unless you really crack down. But yeah, legally gamble on sporting events.
Right, but this also does open up the doors to online sports betting.
So remember when a few years ago when the big deal DraftKings and all that stuff,
and FanDuel were everywhere,
every single second of ESPN programming.
Yeah.
Well, get ready for that again, depending on where your home state chooses, or if you're international, then this doesn't affect you.
Right, or this is also going to affect casinos outside of Vegas. Because right now, like in California, all the casinos do not have a sports booking corner.
Because you can't.
Because they can't. You can't bet on sports.
But if California changes their mind...
Right, then they'll open that up, and then every casino will have to get renovated.
But spoiler alert, California will not change their mind.
That's what they said about the lottery.
Yeah, but
and then they joined it.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
And that's what they say about
same-sex marriage. How about depends on... how the voting in the primaries goes.
I guess it depends on who gets elected governor this upcoming.
Vote, guys. All right, let's move on to out of sports into television news proper. Our first story is about a record. A new record has been set for the most live-action scripted series in production at the same time.
Well, by one production company. Yes.
So, the new leader in this is none other than the man Greg Berlanti. His production company has set the new record of 14 live-action scripted series in production at the same time. The previous record was held by Aaron Spelling and Jerry Bruckheimer, each with 13 shows at their peak. While 10 of his shows are on broadcast, 4 of Berlanti's are on streaming services. His company, under the Warner Brothers umbrella, saw only one of its shows canceled recently, Deception. We'll get to the Cancellations,
a little later.
While adding 3 new productions for a fall premiere this year. The shows are as follows.
Let's list them off.
All American.
1.
Arrow.
2.
Black Lightning.
3.
Legends of Tomorrow.
4.
The Flash.
5.
Riverdale.
6.
Supergirl.
7.
For the CW. Blind Spot.
8.
For NBC. God Friended Me.
9.
The Red Line.
10.
Both on CBS. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which
11.
will be debuting on Netflix. Titans.
12.
And Doom Patrol.
13.
And finally, a show called You.
And that makes 14.
For Lifetime.
That makes 14.
That's a lot of shows.
Yeah, you'll all notice that that's basically CBS or the CW's lineup.
CW's lineup, and including pretty much all the DC shows in current production.
Yes. When Berlanti got the contract for Titans and Doom Patrol for the DC Universe Online's
the streaming thing we talked about last week,
2 weeks ago. Yeah. When they got the deal for that, that's what put them over the edge into that rarefied air.
Right. Yes. So suck it, Aaron Spelling. I don't know. I don't have anything against Aaron Spelling.
Is he dead?
No, Aaron Spelling. Actually, maybe he is.
Hey, Google.
No, not right now.
All right, not right now, Google.
Don't worry, Google. Anyways.
That's fine.
Don't get sassy with me. All right. Let's move on.
So we're moving on to not TV news, but rather a massacre happened.
Okay. Well, before we do that, do you want to talk about your thoughts? Because this is where we usually do that. You finished up 2 seasons of television.
Well, let's go through the.
Okay, you want to finish all of this up? Because we usually go straight to deaths and.
Well, no, we'll go through the 3 that I have, and then the break.
All right, so
for regular cancellations.
So here's where we usually talk about cancellations and renewals. Well, every year this happens. There is a period about of a week or week and a half where all the networks have to make final calls on their fall lineups. Well, that's happening. And so what you're seeing right now is a massacre. There were so many cancellations that we literally have to dedicate most of our television segment today to talk about them.
Yes. I was thinking that, okay, well, I'll just block it off and we'll just do this during regular cancellations.
We can't.
But no, there were literally that many.
So first up, we're going to go by network here and give you the lowdown on what got killed. First up is CBS, Old People Central. They canceled all their new shows. What do you know? 9JKL canceled after 1 season.
Comedy.
Me, Myself, and I, the Bobby Moynihan show, canceled after 1 season. Wisdom of the Crowd, which you have comically written as Wisdom of the Crows.
Oh, yeah.
Canceled after 1 season.
Yes, that was the Jeremy Piven show that got pulled as soon as Jeremy Piven stuff came out.
Makes sense. Kevin Can Wait, which was King of Queens Redux, canceled after 2 seasons.
Yes.
Elementary, finally canceled.
Yes.
Next, after 7 seasons on the network.
Yeah, that thing got 7 seasons.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Lucy Liu, for 7 seasons.
/ Scorpion.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, / colon Scorpion, I think.
Yeah.
Got canceled after 4 seasons.
Yes.
And Superior Donuts, not so superior anymore, because it's canceled after 2 seasons. So there you go. A lot of CBS comedies.
Yes.
And a couple of their long-lasting dramas cut.
Right, a little bit of mix. This should leave the door open because CBS usually likes bringing in new comedies and then keeping only 1 or 2.
Right.
So
Like
this is nothing new. This is nothing new for CBS.
But what is new is some stuff going on at the ABC.
NBC.
Sorry, NBC. We're not to ABC yet. So, not everything was canceled. The good news is that we have some renewals at the top here. First up, AP Bio will get renewed for a 2nd season.
Yes, it just wrapped up its 1st season. So that's good news right there.
So yeah. Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, and Chicago PD. All 3 of the Chicago seasons will get an extra season.
So NBC is going back to Chicago. Congratulations.
More Chicago. The Voice is not done. It will get another, not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 4. There are another 5 seasons of The Voice coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
That's insane. So get ready for 5 more years of The Voice. Or sorry, I guess 2.5 more years because they do 2 a year.
Yeah, they do 2 a year.
Yeah. Taken, however, not so lucky. The show based on the movie without Liam Neeson, of course, is canceled after 2 seasons. The Brave also got canceled after 1 season.
I don't remember what The Brave was.
I don't remember what that was either.
I think that was like some SEAL Team 6 ripoff.
Yeah. Great news. The Tina Fey, Robert Carlock produced news show canceled after just 2 seasons.
Yes, they tried to bring in Tina Fey to
reboot it.
Didn't work.
I'm going to skip this one. I'll come back to this one in a sec. Because it's a bigger story.
Okay.
Rise has been canceled after just 1 season.
I called it.
You totally canceled
it. I totally called that after watching an episode.
It's fine because I called some other things on this list too. We'll get to later.
Yeah.
The Blacklist finally gets renewed.
I think it was on the bubble for so long.
Because it's been on the bubble since existence, pretty much. And we'll come back for a 6th season.
The Voice?
World of Dance gets a 3rd season. They're hyping up the 2nd one right now.
Yes.
And Blind Spot will get renewed for a 4th season. So NBC changing things up, but that's not it for NBC. Now, giving you a little sneak preview of the Fox cancellations here, But the internet was in uproar after something that Fox did this week.
Oh, yes. You want to say that at the end then?
No, I'm going to talk about it now. Because
okay.
This is NBC's news as well.
Yes.
So, fan favorite and one of our favorites, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes.
Was surprisingly out of nowhere canceled by Fox. When this news kind of came out, internet fans were in an uproar. People freaked out.
Not just internet fans, but celebrities.
Celebrities spoke out. Lin-Manuel Miranda freaking defended the show on Twitter.
Luke Skywalker defended it.
Yeah, Mark Hamill was. It's just insane how many people came out to defend it. Of course, people like you and media outlets were very quick to point out there are escape routes, basically, because of the production studio is technically an NBC Universal joint. So don't be surprised if this thing gets picked up, probably from NBC. Sure enough,
literally
a day later, within 24-hour news cycle, the uproar was over. NBC confirmed that they'd be picking up the show for a 6th season. No news beyond that, but it will get another season after this current 5th season is done in just an episode. The finale is in next week. Or this coming week, I guess.
Right. I was reading an article about Dan Goor, creator and showrunner of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and how he had the craziest 36 hours from the show being canceled to calling NBC to saying, what now? To NBC saying, well, don't give up hope yet. We're going to try and work something out here. And then him flying out to the studio, meeting with the executives, and then getting a call as he was driving away saying that they got picked up for that they'll do an extra season. So, congratulations.
So there you go.
So Brooklyn Nine-Nine for staving off cancellation.
So yeah, I'm of two minds about this. I told you kind of my reaction to that news was I kind of think it's run its course. Especially this season, they're wrapping up a lot of loose ends.
Right. Well, that's Dan Goor's style of, well, I don't know if we're going to be picked up, so I'm going to create a finale for everyone, just in case we don't.
Yeah. And so I was ready to put it to bed. I was like, all right, 5 seasons is long for a show like this. I think it's done. It's gone the course. It's done its things. It's been really quality. But shows don't need to last forever. I mean, The Simpsons has proved this. you live beyond a certain amount, and then it doesn't matter anymore. You're just going for the prestige at that point, and you're never going to, like the records, and you're never going to get the respect that you would deserve. There are exceptions, yes, I will admit. But, generally speaking, the longer a show goes, the longer a show goes, the least we care. Like the less we care.
Well, this is also nothing new for Dan Goor because this is exactly what happened with Parks and Rec, where it got canceled after 6 seasons, but then NBC decided to bring it back for a 7th.
Yeah, which, again, it didn't really need.
Yes.
If that show had ended at season 6, it'd probably be better, in my opinion. So, yeah, I don't know. To each their own. I think the internet may be overreacted a little bit, in my opinion. But I still like that show. I'm glad there'll be more of it because it'll give us something else to watch. Yeah. All right, but we're not done with the chopping block.
Oh, no. We have 2 more networks to go to.
ABC is next. ABC reviewed some things, but also gave the axe to some others. Speechless, their show about the mute kid, is getting a 3rd season. Designated Survivor, however, will be killed off just like the rest of its cast. Designated Survivor will be canceled after 2 seasons.
There is negotiations currently going on for Netflix to pick it up for a 3rd season. They're in talks. Nothing is confirmed.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised if we report later that it's going to Netflix.
What won't be, however, is Quantico.
I called this one.
Yeah, we both knew this thing had run its course.
Yeah.
3 seasons is it for Quantico. It will be canceled after this current season is over.
Yes, they tried to do something new, try to create more of a procedural for Quantico this 3rd season. Not quite working out, but they have to create a new storyline every week instead of one giant conspiracy like the first 2 seasons. Yep. So it got the axe.
But what about the newest ABC comedies that debuted this past season? Well, one is getting renewed, one is getting the axe. Splitting Up Together will get a second season. However, the
Jenna
Zach
Fisher.
Braff-led Alex Incorporated will not. It will be canceled after its first season.
Oh, I called that one.
Yeah. I don't know anyone who was watching that.
Nope.
How to Gay? Wow. Okay. How to Gay with Murder? No. That would be a very different show.
Yes,
How
that
to
would be.
Get Away with Murder, however, is a show that will continue existing. It will get a 5th season.
Yep.
American Housewife also remains alive with a 3rd season.
Mm-hmm.
For the People will get another season as well.
Good. I like that show.
Station 19 will also get a new season. Blackish will get a 5th season. The Crossing, not so much. It will be canceled after 1 season.
That's one of the new shows, the new hour-long dramas.
Also, Deception, another of this year's premiere.
I called that
canceled after just 1 season.
I called that when I started watching it. I said, "There's no way they can keep this going for more than a season."
Alongside Kevin Probably Saves the World, which also got canceled.
Right. This is the I See an Angel.
Yeah.
Let me try and save the world.
Marvel's Inhumans. Remember that?
Officially canceled.
Officially canceled after just kind of a season?
Yeah, they aired 4 episodes?
Something like that.
Of the 8 or something?
10 Days in the Valley also gets axed after just 1 season. But last of all, the show that is also eternally on the bubble, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., will not be canceled. It will return for a 6th season.
Yeah.
The show that just won't die.
No one's going to kill off Agent Coulson.
No.
Again.
Yeah, can't do it apparently. Which moves us into our last network here, Fox.
Yep.
Who also made some tricky decisions. The aforementioned Brooklyn Nine-Nine, of course, will be removed from its lineup. Mm-hmm. But so will Lucifer. Lucifer will be canceled after 3 seasons. Last Man Standing. That sounds familiar?
Officially.
It had already been canceled. It was
this was the
show
ABC.
on ABC.
That's right.
Starring Tim Allen.
I'm thinking of The Last Man on Earth.
I'll get there.
Yeah.
Last Man Standing, however, is the Tim Allen show that was on ABC that got axed about 2 years ago. Well, guess what? Not done. Somehow, I don't know what the hell people at Fox are thinking. They're bringing it back, and Last Man Standing will be back on Fox.
Yes, it will be back with its original cast as well.
The Exorcist, the show, will be canceled after 2 seasons. Bob's Burgers continues its long run. It will be back for another season, which I believe will be its 10th? 9th? 9th. It will be its 9th season.
9th? Wow.
Yes, this is currently season 8, so
Okay.
it'll be season 9 next season. Family Guy will get another season, I think putting it up to 15, 16 at this point?
Probably.
Lethal Weapon will get a 3rd season.
Yes, but the main actors will not return.
Oh no.
They've both been fired. Instead, will be replaced by Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott?
Yes.
Wow.
And an uncast actor. No word yet if they're going to get...
Tom Green.
That's it. No word yet if they're going to get...
No.
Which Wayne's brother is it? Damien? Not Marlon Damien?
I don't know. I genuinely do not know.
Yes. So, it's unsure if Mr. Wayne is going to return.
However, one Mr. Wayne that will return is the young Wayne on Gotham, because Gotham will be removed.
Nice segue.
Got it.
Nice.
Which will be renewed for our 5th season. And yes, as you were mentioning, Last Man on Earth will be its last season because it's going to be canceled. It will be canceled after 4 seasons.
Yep.
So that's it for Last Man on Earth. Sorry, Will Forte.
Sorry, he lasted 4 seasons. Has the Last Man on Earth somehow.
The Mick also gets canceled. This is incorrect. It was 2 seasons.
It was 2 seasons?
Yes.
I thought it was just 1.
Seasons. It did get renewed.
Oh, okay.
It was renewed. It had a 2-season run. So it is now getting canceled.
For some reason, I think it was just 1.
It was renewed for once. So
okay.
I definitely know that it came back. Lastly, the show Star will return for a 3rd season.
Oh.
So no, that Star is not a... All right, that does for our for major network cancellations and renewals. But we still have some others. Let's just kill these and then we can talk about your thoughts.
Okay.
First up, Adam Ruins Everything gets a third season on True TV. Yeah, hasn't ruined his TV deal yet, I guess.
Not yet.
The Expanse, however, on Sci-Fi has been given the cancellation treatment after just 3 seasons.
But there is an internet petition to bring it back for Sci-Fi not to cancel it. Yeah. It just needs its ratings to go up.
Mm-hmm. Easier said than done.
Yeah.
The Joel McHale Show, so we've been watching, just enjoyed its season finale of sorts after its initial 13-episode run. But Netflix has announced it will get an additional 6 episodes on July 15th. But, this is key, different this time, they will be released all 6 at once in traditional Netflix manner instead of the current weekly schedule they were on.
Which will be interesting because that is a weekly show.
So my guess is that they're going to continue, this is allowing them to continue production schedule, but put a bunch of episodes in the can and actually take a summer break.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking. So that way, by the time that they're done, they'll just put them all out, and they can actually take a break.
All right.
Because a weekly show is hard to do.
Yes.
Because you don't take breaks.
Right, and especially when your content consists of stuff that happens that week.
So yeah, it'll just be stuck in the can for the last 6 weeks.
Right.
It's perfect. Lost in Space on Netflix will get a 2nd season.
I still need to finish that. Maybe.
I didn't hear good things, so I don't know. The Detour on TBS will get a 4th season. iZombie on the CW will get a 5th season. That show keeps trucking. And lastly, biggest news if you're an internet dork this week was Rick and Morty. Finally, for the first time in its entire existence, has gotten a firm renewal of an actual episode count. 70 episodes have been ordered by Adult Swim.
Yes. This is news
That's
because...
7-0, by the way.
Yes.
I'm not kidding.
Yes. Given that it's only aired roughly 31 episodes, I believe.
In its total. In its entire existence.
Yes.
All 3 seasons. This means that it's basically another 3.5 seasons worth.
Right.
Of Rick and Morty episodes. So what this probably means is that Adult Swim will treat it like they did classically, where it'd just be like, I don't know, let's toss out some new episodes now. I don't know, save some for later. This just means that the production team actually gets to have work to do. We'll actually have writing to do for a while now.
And also this means that if they do it this way, don't have like actual seasons.
Yeah.
Just do dumps.
Right.
Well, because Cartoon Network does dumps whenever they want.
Cartoon Network does, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so this allows Adult Swim to basically surprise everyone, put out 3 episodes, wait a couple months, put out 3 episodes, wait a couple months, and allows the writing team to
pace themselves.
No longer have to create 10 episodes all at once and then wait a year and a half for it to get animated.
Yeah. So Rick and Morty fans, be happy. Your show will not die for the next probably 3 years.
Yep. Unless the fan base kills it.
Yeah, unless you guys kill it. Now I guess we can talk about some shows that just wrapped up that you have been watching. You've been watching Silicon Valley's 5th season, which just wrapped up.
Yes, Silicon Valley just wrapped up. This was the new internet plot line that they were going off of. Yeah. The start and the not the start, but rather the building of the new internet, which is tech for MacGuffin.
Yeah.
It was an interesting series now because Erlich Bachman, aka T.J. Miller, was not involved, yet they still wanted to keep the Jin Yang plotline involved. So it worked, didn't work at times, became a little... It's gotten to the point where it's not enjoyable, I want to say. I want to say it's kind of run its course. Give it one more season, and then that's it. Just end it. Because this whole, well, we're fuck-ups, but everything turns out good for us because we're the main characters. And even though we mess stuff up, somehow it ends up working in our favor.
Yeah.
Gets really tiring.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah. So
Which I swear we've said for the last 2 times that we've watched the season finale of Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
It's just, this show has the same problem over and over and over again.
Right, but at the very end, they always tease it as, oh, this will get bigger.
Because you have to reset. You have to reset every time to make it look like there's still stakes.
Right. And that's where the stakes are. They have basically become Google.
Yeah.
And so now they'll be taking on Google type problems.
So
for these, basically, I guess they're now 39, 40-year-olds.
I have no idea how old those characters are supposed to be.
I don't know. They're supposed to be like 30-somethings.
Yeah.
Like late 20s, early 30s, and the show started.
So
It's been 5 years.
So yeah, I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, any hopeful thoughts for the next season, or is this just you're kind of like why at this point?
I'm kind of like, okay, like I'm more of, is this any relevant, or are they just using it to throw in a bunch of new tech stuff?
I mean, that's kind of how the show has always felt to me.
Yeah.
Is that just like, all right, there's a bunch of writers who just want to write about experiences they've had in the tech industry, and they want to drop names and they want to drop brands and stuff. And then,
yeah.
And I get that. That sounds fun if you're a writer, and I get it. But again,
you gotta keep the show interesting.
If every season is identical, pretty much, give or take a few new characters, then it's just you lose people.
Yeah, because the formula is they set out on a new venture, they stumble their way through it, but at the end they come out with the goal that they set, even though they basically failed upwards the entire time. And that is what the show should be called, Failing Upwards.
It's not bad.
That's a better title of that show, Failing Upwards.
You also watch another HBO show. You watched the first season of Barry.
Yes.
Bill Hader's Barry.
Yes, this is the Bill Hader show through and through. Bill Hader stars as a hitman who discovers an acting class after taking on a job in Hollywood and decides he wants to quit his life taking out people and instead wants to enjoy the theater stage. Which turns out to be an interesting concept because as a hitman, he has no emotion.
Right.
He's supposed to be a cold-blooded killer.
He has to really act.
He has to really act
and learn how to act.
Emotion. And, find the feelings inside of him to bring out emotion. So it's really interesting in terms from, like, how actors get their methods, but also from just Bill Hader being, like, his goofy self of, well, I'm always the straight man, but I have to show emotion or learn to show emotion. Will be a Russian mob plotline through and through the season that resolved itself quite nicely at the end. It was okay. I mean, some people are there saying this is great. It's not there for me yet. Yeah. It shows potential. I definitely like where it's going. I like seeing Bill Hader interact with everyone.
Yeah.
I'll watch more episodes. I don't know if it's award worthy, but I'll definitely look forward to seeing season 2 when it comes around. Yeah. So check it out. It's 8 episodes long. They're all half hours.
So not bad.
Yeah,
not a lot of time.
Right now that the whole season is out there, you can just binge watch it.
Cool.
It's worth watching.
All right, so check that out. Moving on, we just have one death here. I'm sure more happened, but we have one to report.
Yes.
So Margot Kidder, who aged 69, sorry, nice, has passed away. She, of course, actress from the original Superman movie.
The original Lois Lane.
Not original, but you know what I mean. From the film.
From the film.
Superman, the film.
Yes, Superman the movie, Superman
1975 Superman? 75 sounds right.
I think so.
But yeah,
Richard Donner's Superman.
Definitely a symbol of that era, symbol of the early days of superhero films. So yeah. Definitely will be missed. But that's it for television.
All right.
We move now
into the Billboard
music and the Billboard charts. Guess what, guys?
We have a new number 1.
We have a new number 1 in both charts this week.
So I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark here.
Don't do that. You're going to stab somebody.
This doesn't play well on podcast radio.
Also that's why I said that. Because it doesn't play. Yeah. What are your guesses here?
Childish Gambino.
You guessed right. Your Hot 100 Billboard singles chart is topped this week by This Is America by Childish Gambino. He did the 1-2 punch approach. He was on SNL where he debuted the song, and then just a day later debuted the music video, which quickly became a viral sensation on the internet.
Yes.
So yeah, that is your number one
Speaking
song.
of that video, I have to show you a video when we're done. It's
Alright.
Carly Rae Jepsen synced up to that music
Oh
video.
my god. It's so stupid.
It is stupid, but it also kind of works.
I bet. Also, in your top 5, Nice for What by Drake moves down a spot to number 2. Number 3, God's Plan by Drake. Number 4, Psycho by Post Malone featuring Ty Dolla $ign. And number 5, Meant to Be by BB Rexa and Florida Georgia Line. So yes, everything just moved down a spot.
Yep.
But not so in your Billboard charts. Oh wait, I was wrong. It's still your same number 1 from last week. I thought for sure I had read that it wasn't. But no, Beer Bongs and Bentleys by Post Malone is still your number 1 album in the country.
It's a terrible name.
But followed closely by moving up the chart, KOD by J. Cole. And debuting at number 3 this week, Good Thing by Leon Bridges. Rounding out your 5 is number 4, Invasion of Privacy by Cardi B. And lastly, number 5, Attention, Attention! By Shine Down.
Oh, I thought it was The Greatest Showman.
It is not. It is not in your top 6 even this week.
Okay.
So those are your Billboard charts. Moving into new releases for the week. We have the band Ash with Islands. Charles Watson with Now That I'm a River. Congratulations, man. I want to be a river. Five Finger Death Punch with And Justice for None, which I'm guessing is a reference to the Metallica album And Justice for All.
Probably.
Mezbay with Electric Light. John Mouse with Addendum. Matthew Sweet with Tomorrow's Daughter. Riley Walker with Deaf Man Glance. And The Sidekicks with Happiness Hours. Don't sidekick me.
You are my sidekick.
Oh, wait. Hey, wait a minute. I want to be a sidekick. So let's move into music news. First, our story is about R. Kelly, somebody who we've been following off and on for all his interesting misdeeds.
Yes, all his extracurricular activities.
If you could call them that.
They finally caught up to him.
Spotify has become aware of this and thus have removed the artist from its playlists as part of its new policy about content that includes hateful things or people who do hateful things. I guess it's kind of loose. It's kind of a loose policy, but
it is.
They're calling their shots as they see it, and this time they're removing R. Kelly. So you will no longer be able to find his music in any editorial or algorithmic playlists, and nor will his music be promoted in any way by Spotify. This does not mean, though, that he has been removed from the service. You can still find R. Kelly's entire library if you search for it.
Yes, and if you have a playlist with R. Kelly songs on it,
he will not
it will still be there.
It's just if it's a algorithmic one, if you signed up for R&B hits of the 90s, for example, it will be gone from there.
Right. It will also be gone from any Spotify radio that would play.
Right. So, in case you're wondering why... Quote from Spotify, I said, "We don't censor content because of an artist or creator's behavior, but we want our editorial decisions to reflect our values." That's a pretty smart response.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's necessarily as far as they could go, but it's a smart response for the kind of business that they run.
If you remove him, it's a slippery slope to saying, well, why don't you remove this person? They did that, or this person did that.
In fact, that's exactly what apparently R. Kelly's one of a representative of R. Kelly did. Mm-hmm. Apparently, they wrote back to Spotify and somebody took a screenshot of the email and it showed well, why if you want to remove blah blah R. Kelly, why don't you remove all these people? And they just a billion different people.
Right, because they all have lawsuits or
all sorts of things. Yeah.
mal content attached to them.
So in case you're wondering about R. Kelly and specifically what he's been done, in case you've been living under a rock for a while, he's been accused by multiple women of sexual violence, coercion, and running a, quote, sex cult, which we had reported on this very podcast before.
Sex cult sounds like the name of his album.
It does. Though, just to note, he has never been convicted of a crime. These are all just accusations, but it's a matter of time.
Right, it's accusations, but they've all been corroborated. He's also not denying any of this.
Yeah.
It's just that he hasn't been officially charged with anything.
Right. Moving on to a couple of sad stories here. First up, we have a death in the music scene. Scott Hutchinson, the lead singer of the British band Frightened Rabbit, was found on the banks of the Firth of Forth.
That's a river.
I guess that's a river. after he went missing in the early hours of Wednesday morning, this last Wednesday.
Yes.
He had spoken openly about his mental health, and he discussed his problems in the public domain, which helped raise awareness of mental health issues. His bandmates released a statement following this, saying, "There are no words to describe the overwhelming sadness and pain that comes with the death of our beloved Scott. But to know he is no longer suffering brings us some comfort." So, no clear path for the band, whether they will continue recording as Frightened Rabbit without him. No word about any kind of commemorative event that will take place over his death. No extra information has been given, but yeah, it's definitely a sad loss.
Right, it's just another part of the music industry because we had Chester Bennington last year.
Yeah.
We had Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell too.
As well. It's just
mental health.
It's just mental health.
Yeah.
We don't like covering these stories, but they are newsworthy.
Yeah. Speaking of, unfortunately, famous deaths. Kurt Cobain's death was in the news again recently. Specifically, the photographs of his death. His photographs will never again see the light of day, thankfully, following a court ruling on Monday. The appellate court's ruling comes in favor of Courtney Love and Francis Bean Cobain, both his widow and his daughter, respectively, who own basically everything in his estate, collectively, the two of them, who has been seeking a ruling that would permanently enjoy the permanently enjoy.
I think I wrote that wrong.
Yeah, permanently stop the city from disclosing, disseminating, releasing, or distributing any death scene photographs of Kurt not previously disclosed. The photos in question, show, you know what they show. I don't need to say it.
Right.
Richard Lee has been investigating Cobain's death and believed a conspiracy involving multiple government officials and a cover-up for the singer's suicide, which caused all this to bring to court. Well, now it's shut down.
Yeah. The court basically looked at the guy, said he was nuts, said, no, we're going to respect these wishes, the wishes of the widow.
Of literally his family.
Of the literal family.
His surviving family members.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's messed up. Let's just there's no conspiracy, let's just let this fly. I know people are obsessed with, murder mysteries.
Right, and did he really commit suicide or
commit
a conspiracy? Yeah.
But come on, man. Just let them live.
Right. It's been 24 years?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
It's 94, so it's been
24 years. Yeah.
24 years. All right, let's move on to a story, thankfully not about death. It's about Tidal, though.
Yes.
I don't know if it's better or worse. A Norwegian newspaper claims that the music streaming app Tidal has been inflating audience figures for both the two of their most famous contributions to music, Beyonce's Lemonade and Kanye West's The Life of Pablo. This would have led Tidal to have paid disproportionate royalties to those singers' record companies at the expense of other artists. The Norwegian University of Science and Technology had published their own report that indicates more than 320 million false play records had been logged.
Wow, what was that number again?
320 million false play records had been logged for the two albums, affecting more than 1.7 million user accounts. Yeah, do that math. 1.7 million user accounts played both of those things 320 million times.
Yeah.
According to Tidal.
That's 300. That's 320 times per account minimum.
Tidal has denied the allegations, but the paper's editor-in-chief said it stood by the claims that had been published, despite no hard evidence that anyone involved, including Jay-Z, Beyonce, or Kanye West, would have been aware of the figures being altered. Tidal has not been willing to answer detailed questions about the manipulated data, but insists the data was stolen and manipulated and not done in-house.
Right. Now, this just goes on top of Tidal's basically secrecy about everything that happens within the company in terms of the numbers of the users, how much they how many people actually pay, how many people actually use it, daily users, because they never release those numbers to anyone.
Right. They're pretty secretive about that kind of thing. Because of the people involved, I would assume. So, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense that there would be a conspiracy, but to have actual hard data to back that up is another thing. And that's what this Norwegian newspaper is saying. That they have hard data. They have the uncorrupted data.
Uncorrupted data.
Yeah.
All right, so that does it for music news. So this is where we talk about things we've listened to.
And I believe you listened to an album by the Monkees.
So, not those Monkees. I listened to not enough of that Arctic Monkeys record to actually talk about it too much. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I kind of dropped off.
Oh, so it's that kind of album.
Yeah, I didn't really care for what I heard.
Okay.
Not my thing. But what I did listen to, though, that I can talk about here is the new Beach House album. That's big enough to talk about on a podcast. Their new record, 7, out now as of last, is also their 7th record, in case you were wondering. Also, fun fact, brings their total of recorded songs to 77.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
That's cute.
This is their newest record. It's with a new producer, producer known by the name Sonic Boom, worked on the record. Unrelated to Sonic the Hedgehog. At least I don't think so. But yeah, it adds a new kind of texture to their sound, a little bit more of kind of a live drum effect. It really accentuates the drama of their music. It's some of their best sounding songs I think they've ever had, and probably, if not my favorite album from them so far, it's definitely number 2. I really like their 2010 album Bloom. So it's definitely up there in the high echelon of their stuff before. So if you've heard any Beach House music and you've liked them in the past, check this one out. It's some of the best work they've done. So
is this summer album worthy?
So Beach House is weird because they're very atmospheric and kind of moody. So they don't really necessarily fall into a specific season. They're not summer jams as I would typically say a summer jam is. They don't qualify as summer jams to me. But they are kind of more like, they're like hanging out at the beach at night music. That's kind of what they are.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting, very texture-based kind of emotional music. I like it. So yeah, check that out if that sounds cool to you. Moving on to video games. We're done with music. We're moving into the world of video games. And first up is new video game releases.
So
what we're looking at is, first up, Dragon's Crown Pro, which is a re-release for PS4 of the PS3 game Dragon's Crown, a side-scrolling RPG brawler, which I've played some Dragon's Crown. It's pretty fun.
Oh, okay.
Penguin Wars comes to the Switch. Wizard of Legend comes to PlayStation 4 and Switch. Hitman Definitive Edition, the collection of the entire Season 1 of the Hitman game that was this current generation for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This was also notes the first independent release from IO Interactive after their sale from Eidos.
Okay.
State of Decay 2 Ultimate Edition for Xbox One. And finally, the Switch version of Hyrule Warriors, which was also called Definitive Edition.
Yes.
So that will include all the DLC characters that were released on the Wii U version. So check that out if you like Hyrule Warriors.
Right. You mentioned State of Decay 2, right?
I did.
Yes. That is the pre-release, the extra bundle for State of Decay 2. The official release will come out the fall, 4 days later.
Yeah.
But if you want to play it 4 days early, you can get it on Friday.
Cool. There you go. Moving on to video game news. We had some news this week.
First up from GameStop.
Sorry, my eyes went down to a later story where you've made a typo in the word slug.
Oh.
Very different game.
I'll
get to that later. First up is a story about GameStop.
Yes.
Guess what? Another CEO shakeup. The CEO of GameStop, Michael Mahler, which is a terrifying name for your CEO. Mahler. Like, he's going to maul you.
Yes.
Has resigned.
Going to the mall?
He's resigned after just working 3 months as CEO of the company.
He lasted 3 months?
3 whole months, believe it or not. Mahler resigned for, quote, personal reasons, unquote, and is not due to any disagreement with the company regarding its financial reporting, policies or practices, or any potential fraud relating thereto, according to a spokesperson. Co-founder of GameStop, Daniel DeMatteo, has been appointed to interim CEO. GameStop has struggled to adapt to the digital games market, although global sales increased 15% in the fourth quarter of fiscal 2017, but a net loss of $105 million compared to $208 million the previous year.
So GameStop is still in kind of a nosedive. Not much you can do about saving a company with a outdated business model.
Yeah, it's the same problem that Toys R Us has just faced.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at the very last gasps of this company.
Right.
Unless they come up with something quick to get into the digital scene.
They tried the continuous rental strategy.
And that got shot down.
That got shut down fast. I mean, it's something I would have subscribed to.
Yeah.
$60 for a new game. But yeah, they took that away.
Something else that got taken away from us is Cliff Bleszinski's studio, Boss Key Productions.
I mean, even if it was $100, I may be inclined.
Ruined my segue.
Sorry, I was still on a thought there.
I know.
All right, so Cliff Bleszinski.
So yeah, Cliff Bleszinski of Unreal Tournament, and Gears of War fame in his past lives started something called Boss Key Productions, where they released their game Lawbreakers to a tepid response.
Yes, this was the anti-gravity shooter.
Yes.
That came, made a splash, and then continued to sink to the bottom of the sea.
They also were in the news just a few weeks ago for releasing a new game called Radical Heights, which was supposed to be a combination of the battle royale style of game introduced in things like PUBG and Fortnite, with like BMX tricks.
Yeah.
It sounded like a cool idea. But all of that, unfortunately, comes to an end because Boss Key is closing. They claim that they unfortunately failed to gain traction, even with some last-minute updates to their games, including Lawbreakers. Servers, however, for games like Radical Heights and Lawbreakers will remain up for the near future. In a final farewell posted on Twitter, Cliff thanked everyone's support, but he's going to be taking some time off to reflect and focus on his family.
Yeah, 4 years is a long time for a company, and to come up with nothing from
hits,
it is kind of defeating for a person. So yeah, it's definitely going to take some time off here, time to recharge, rethink, come up with a new strategy, and then get right back at it. Or maybe a studio will pick them up with a new idea for new IPs.
Maybe they'll just take a break.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I doubt this is the last we've seen of them.
Oh, no, he'll come back.
Yeah.
Next up, if you missed out on the NES Classic Edition or the Super NES Classic Edition, well, guess what? There will be another round of sales, so get ready for get your pre-order finger ready. If you didn't get a chance to get one last time around, now you can. The consoles will return to stores on June 29th. The Super NES Classic will sell through the end of the year until supplies run out starting then. And the NES Classic will sell for a new low price of $59.99 and include one system, one controller, an HDMI cable, adapter, and 30 pre-installed games.
Right. I do believe that the SNES came with 2 controllers.
And 20 games.
And 20 Yes.
And that retails, you don't have it here, but I believe they will not be dropping the price on that one. That retails for $79.99.
Yes, I believe they will keep that.
So $60, $80. Those will be back at stores. See if you can get them, because probably will not be.
But what if I already own both of them?
Then good for you. Then you don't need to do anything about it.
No, that's let's say we're the next.
Sorry. Next.
So let's try that again.
But
what
if you're
not, both of them?
You're more of a fan of so let's say SNK's classic lineup. Well, guess what? They've announced the Neo Geo Mini, which includes 40 of their classic games. It is a small 3.5-inch display in a game cabinet, so a screen is included in this one, but also has an HDMI output if you want to connect to a television. Their games include Metal Slug, not Metal Slut, which you have written down.
Sorry.
That's a very different game. The King of Fighters 97, Samurai Showdown 2, and all their sequels. This is in part of SNK's 40th anniversary celebration. I will probably not buy that, but if I did, man, would it be nice to have a Bust-A-Move cabinet in my house. Because, man, do I love Bust-A-Move.
Yes. In addition to this, sometime during E3, they will announce a 40th anniversary celebration. Yeah. I'm gonna assume it's a collector's edition that you can download, much like Sega has done.
Yeah, or going to do, apparently, with the Genesis thing.
Yeah.
Curious, a quick question. This is unrelated, but if you could buy, semi-related, I guess I should say, if you could have one arcade cabinet in your house, which one would it be?
Either be Metal Slug or Crazy Taxi.
You want a Crazy Taxi machine?
I want a Crazy Taxi machine.
Do you, though? Because you would walk in, when it was on, you'd be walking into your room and you would just hear...
Crazy Taxi!
Yeah, or that Offspring song over and over again.
Yeah.
God. See, I want Bust a Move. Because even when I'm not playing it, that song, it's so damn catchy.
Cut to the hot dog.
Yeah, anyways, sorry. I love Bust a Move. Alright, let's move on to our last story of video games.
Alright, so let's move on to cancellations.
We're not done with deaths because we got another one. The PlayStation Vita. Well, guess what? It's not quite dead, but its games are.
So the console is not dead.
But so basically, the PS Vita is dead. Long live the PS Vita.
Yes.
Sony is officially ending the manufacture of physical game cards for the system.
And that is right. The PS Vita had physical game cards.
Right. Digital distribution of games will still continue. The plan is, though, to end by close of fiscal year 2018, and they've asked all retailers to submit Vita product code requests by June 28th. But final purchase orders can be entered by February 15th if you're a latecomer, I suppose. You can still get free games for the system, though, through PS Plus.
Yes, PS Plus will still offer free Vita games every month, like they have been doing. They still will do the crossplay with the PS4, like they have been doing. But expect the shelves, if you're still going to a store to buy games, the shelves of the PS Vita to be smaller to gone.
Yeah.
The console itself will still sell. You can still buy a Vita if you want. But, yeah, it's not gonna... It's basically the final nail on the coffin of this thing. They're kind of losing support. They've already lost the handheld wars, I guess, with this thing. Because when it came out, it was about the same time that smartphones and tablets started catching on with games. And so an extra handheld mobile device for gaming became null and void.
Yeah.
And if you weren't Nintendo creating exclusive titles for everyone, it's kind of a far reach.
It's hard.
Yeah.
All right.
So there won't be a funeral at E3.
No.
But don't be surprised to see some people wearing black.
Alrighty, so that brings us to the end of video games, and that ends the podcast.
No, actually.
But, because you've been just playing more God of War.
But I have been playing a new game coming up. I played the demo version.
Oh, right, yeah.
Detroit.
Colon,
become human. Being human.
No, become human.
Becomes the human. Detroit becomes the human.
Detroit becomes human. So, okay, so there's a demo out.
Yes.
For the new David Cage joint, Detroit Become Human.
Yes.
How is that?
This is the E3 demo from last year, wherein you played Android hostage negotiator, and you basically go through the demo house, collect evidence, rewind time, in a sense, to understand what happened, and then negotiate the surrender of the kid. Oh, yeah. By the way, there's a kid in this hostage situation. And everything seems ramped up for some reason. like, I know you're supposed to care about these people, or these androids. Yeah, they're all androids. But it's weird.
So you played Beyond Two Souls, right?
No.
No, you didn't?
No, actually, Beyond Two Souls is the free game
right now.
For PS Plus right now. I did buy it.
Okay.
I plan on downloading it and playing it. When I get to it. I'm still playing Mad Max. I'm finishing that up. Probably going to platinum it in like a couple days now.
Okay.
But yeah, when I'm done with that, I'm going to be playing Beyond Two Souls. The Ellen Page game.
The Ellen Page game.
Yeah. So what were you saying about that game?
Oh, I was just saying. I was asking if you had played one of his games before. Essentially.
No, I did not play that game. I did not play Heavy Rain either.
Yeah, it's yeah, they're all kind of like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we may or may not be getting into that when it comes out proper. If we do, it'll probably just be something we jump in for a few days and then kind of jump out of.
Yeah.
So don't expect full coverage. Don't expect a thoughts post.
Yeah. Because games of this magnitude, AAA games, have become so massive in story.
Yeah, we don't have the time.
There's no time. I don't have any time to sit and play through all the scenarios that will unfold because of this game. Now, unlike with Until Dawn, where there is a central narrative. Huh?
Until Dawn?
Yeah, Until Dawn. Until Dawn. Unlike Until Dawn, where there is a central narrative and everything moves forward, with Detroit Become Human, everything branches off. So, from everything you can do, and normally I like to complete games, which is why I'm taking God of War probably as slowly as possible.
Good call.
But just that's also because that's so I can enjoy the entire experience. But with this game, just from the demo, I get the sense that it will spread everywhere.
And also, the design ethos is almost exactly opposite, because instead of it being something it wants you to spend a lot of time exploring in, this is the opposite. This wants you to make decisions quickly and make the story continue by the decisions you make.
Yes, you are given a time limit on the decisions.
Yeah.
You are given options for decisions that you can unlock from gathering clues. But what I thought was funny was that during the demo, there is an unlock section for, quote, wasting time.
Wasting time.
That was one of the things that you could do, was waste time while the hostage negotiation, while the hostage was happening. Yeah, it was one of the things, the moments that you could unlock. Yeah. But yeah, just from the one demo, it was 7 different endings just for this demo. And those are all based off of what you said, the situation, and what you did. Now, it took me about 2 hours just to complete the demo and everything. But by the time I got to the 3rd playthrough, I was like, man, I don't want to go through everything again.
Yeah.
Just give me the fast version where I just go to the end.
Right.
And then just go from there where I already have everything and know everything.
Which Until Dawn did a little bit of that, right?
Yeah.
Where it was kind of just okay, you know this.
Until Dawn at least gave you chapter selects. Which this did. But it was a chapter select right smack dab in the middle where I still had to go around and collect everything. Which I guess is a part of it because you could either do it or not. But if you already did it, that means you already know the information.
You know what this is making me think about? We didn't play the Life is Strange Before the Storm.
We did not. We played Life is Strange.
Now that it's over, I should probably buy that.
Now the season is out?
Yeah, now I should just probably buy that and play through that. I have a hankering for that kind of game right now. So,
but there's no max.
I'll probably do that. I'll probably download that, actually. I probably should buy that after this is over. But yeah, before I forget, because I really want to play that for some reason. I just thought you talking about those games, what's a good one of those? Oh, that's right, Life is Strange is a good one of those.
Yeah, we enjoyed Life is Strange, where you had to make decision makings like that.
All right, so look forward to. We'll probably be. Well, actually, we might not be streaming that because it'll be my profile. No. But yeah, we'll see. But anyways,
Detroit Human comes out end of the month, the 27th?
Yup, something like that.
So, yeah. But yeah, the demo is free right now. Go out there and download it.
See if it's for you.
It
might not be for us.
Yeah, because I was pretty much set on getting Detroit Become Human until I played the demo, and I'm glad I did.
Yeah, that's what demos exist.
Because like I said, that demo just showed me how wide variety this thing can get. Yeah. And it's not one storyline, it's 3 character storylines that, for me, to go through every single one and find every single ending will be a pain. Because I have to rewatch every cutscene and there's no, quick cut-throughs.
Right, there's no fast forward.
Yeah, there's no fast forwards, and like, I'll play through it once and try and make everyone survive and play the good cop.
Right.
But there's just so many different ways that this thing can go that it may lose the purpose of what the story is trying to tell.
You think?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. All right, so let's wrap up then.
That'll wrap us up.
That'll do it for video games. That'll do it for the Media Boat podcast.
So let's plug away.
Let's do this quick. First up, if you want to watch our podcasts live, we are live every Wednesday night on YouTube. Search Media Boat Podcast to find our channel. Click on the bell to get notifications when we go live. But generally speaking, we go live at 8 p.m. Pacific time every Wednesday night here on YouTube. You can also find the audio version of our podcast on Apple Podcasts or through your RSS feed, any podcatcher of your choice. So check that out there. You can also find us on social media where we post about when we are live on podcasts, when we have news stories going up on the website, MediaBoatPodcast.com, or when we have streaming going on for video games on twitch.tv/MediaBoat. We are on social media at MediaBoatCast. We're on Facebook if you search MediaBoat Podcast. We're on twitch.tv, streaming currently God of War, but soon, probably something else.
I'm going to try and finish it.
Yeah, soon.
Yes, sometime. Hopefully I'm towards the end.
On our way.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then...
I may just end up sticking to story elements from here on out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But then, yeah, as I mentioned... MediaBoatPodcast.com is where you can find our writing and occasional thoughts about what we think about things. Next up, we have Patreon.com. If you want to help us out with money, you can go to Patreon. Little as $1 a month will help us make content that's even better than this and make content exclusive for our patrons. So join us there and give us some cash. That'll do it for the Media Boat Podcast this week. We will be back, of course, next week with another edition of the regular podcast. You'll be back streaming more God of War sooner than later. And we will be peacing out and have a good week, fellas. And
we'll be back.
People.
We'll be back with thoughts on Deadpool, with any more TV shows that got canceled or renewed.
Or whatever.
And whatever happens. Yeah.
So, we'll be back. See you guys.
Thank you for tuning in.
Bye-bye.
Catch us next week. Bye. Alright, YouTube after show. So, the doctor says angels are still decent, but the big question that remains for sports, is it football season yet?
That's not the case until
September. Right now, all the rookies have been reporting to their respective teams to do all the photographs, the fittings, and general introductions. Does that mean I should watch AP Bio now that it got renewed? Probably not.
I mean, no, check it out. You might like it.
Yeah, maybe.
The thing about that show is that it's such a specific kind of humor, for the most part, with the kind of the personality of its lead, that you're either going to immediately be drawn to that character or immediately hate that character.
Yeah.
And the rest of the show is kind of just your average NBC sitcom. So it's kind of two things. And it depends on how much you like the lead character in order to stick around for the rest of it. Because the thing he made me bounce off that show is, like, I like the rest of it. I like the periphery, but I didn't like him.
Right. I like to surprise Patton Oswalt.
Yes.
I'm just not a fan of Glenn Howerton.
Yeah, fair.
And lastly, why are you hating on The Voice?
We're not hating on The Voice. We were never hating on The Voice. I just think it's funny that it will last forever now.
Yeah.
For the next 2.5 years, it will still be The Voice. I don't have a problem with The Voice. I just dropped off of it because there's too much of it.
You can't even name a winner.
I mean, it's just it's twice a year.
Wait, no, I can name one winner.
Sundance Head.
Did he win?
Yeah, he won.
Oh, then I can name two.
See, that's the thing, is that there's so many winners of The Voice, I think it lessens the importance of when they do win.
Right. Well, my winner was going to be Cassidy Pope.
Yeah.
Just because that's a great name.
Cassidy Pope is a great name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I think they do cool things on that show, but I'm just naturally more inclined to the way that American Idol is set up. I don't know.
Right, and we'll be getting another season of American Idol.
Yes, we will.
All right, that's it. That's all we got. So, thank you all for tuning in for the YouTube broadcast. We'll be back next week, right here, same channel, YouTube, 8 o'clock on Wednesdays.
See ya.
Bye.